And one of the things is I was under the impression when I first got married, in my first marriage, that I had to kind of lose my identity. Like I had to downplay my intelligence. Like, I'm not supposed to know that. The man has all the answers. Let him handle that. Have y'all experienced that? Have you, okay, so I'm just like, maybe, because I felt like in my spirit that I had this strong spirit, I'm a woman becoming, I know what I want, I know what I'm going for. God's given me this gift, this talent, this ability. And then when I was married to the ex, I was like, maybe I need to be a little bit more demure. Maybe I need to calm down those ideas and play the good supportive role. Shut my goals down and support. But then my goals was the one making a lot of the money. You understand where I'm coming from. So, so then when, so once I, it was discovered that my goal was making the money, I could do that. Go ahead and run and do that. But bring it back to me. You understand? And so, but I earned it. But and so I was like really confused, and I'm trying to come into my womanhood and trying to understand this position of wife. What is it? Am I allowed to be fluid in this relationship? Am I allowed to be who God has called me to be? Because some people, before I go on to the next question, some people, when they get married, I've heard a lot of talk shows that the women lose their identity. Yeah. Just like being a mother, that when the children leave, a lot of women go into depression.
Yeah, they're lost.
They're lost. What do we do now? Because we don't have to get up at 6 o'clock to take the kids to the bus stop.
Find something to fill that void.
Gotta find something to fill the void. What do we do now? He's not here, so I don't have to have the dinner at home. Laid out when he come home, because it's just me now. Do we have the same friends? Do I still go to the country club? Am I going to be accepted now because I'm, spouseless? Really, this is serious, because people. This one lady, I watched this documentary, and he was talking about women that when they end up divorced, they're like, 55% of them live below the poverty line. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, wow, 55%, 7 out of 10 of them are broke. And because the woman gets the children 9 times out of 10, mm-hmm. she got to take care of the kids, but they said when a man gets divorced, his income goes up. Because he can choose to be there or not be there. I mean, really, that's a whole other discussion. But when we talk about identity, and we talking about creating a mastermind alliance and having a spouse to work with you, I was talking to Bruce, it leads me to, the next question: how do you allow your wife to pursue her goals without being jealous? Because you the man, you gotta keep her calm down. Tell her to sit down somewhere. You're supposed to be out here doing all this stuff. How do you allow? And I put that word there for a reason. Allow. I think I'm a fully grown woman and you're a fully grown man. I don't think there's no allowing to go on. But I've heard people actually say to me, have the audacity to say, how does your husband allow? I said, ooh. I went back like that, like, ooh, did you use that word, allow? I don't think he's my father or my mother. There's no allowance going on. You know what I'm saying? You talking about money? Allowance? No. I'm trying to figure out what you're saying. But I'm going to use it because somebody asked that question. How do you allow your wife to pursue her goals without being jealous?
Well, I'll tell you, first off, of course, it goes back to courting before you get married, so you know who exactly that you're going to be one with. I mean, so there's really no allowing and not getting jealous, or even supporting. Let's say that, supporting and not getting jealous, because you should know who you marry in the first place. You should know what dreams, goals, aspirations that she has in the first place before you get married.
Okay.
She didn't just all of a sudden get a goal or a dream or idea. A person who has something that they want to do, they may not know exactly what it is, but they know that they are a person of purpose. They just have to find their purpose. And once they find their purpose, it's your duty to help them get to it, you know, and make it happen. If y'all are equally yoked, that might be why you're there, to help them get their purpose. And once their purpose is gotten, if you happen to have one, whoever comes first comes first.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of Denzel Washington. You know, the reason why he's still with his wife today, he said, because when he got with her, he didn't have nothing, right? He was an acting student. He was trying to pursue his goals. And she pretty much financed his career when he was first getting started. I mean, she was the breadwinner while he went out here and did his acting and things of that nature. And that's the reason why they're still here today, because he said he always remember who was there for him when he was not the Denzel Washington.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know, he said he didn't do like some of his other counterparts that now that I'm wealthy, now let me go over here and get this new woman.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He said he didn't do that. He said because he knew the woman was the reason why he is what he's doing. And I like what you said, because sometimes, you know, when we come together, we may not have the full picture. That's the reason why we're forming this Mastermind Alliance, like it says, to nurture and support growth. I like how he said that, and to both plan and purpose. You understand? Because we're coming together, and people don't understand that marriage is a corporation.
Yep.
It really is, because when you get a divorce, that corporation crumbles, don't it? It affects a lot of lives, not just your own. You know,
liquidate all assets.
Liquidate 50-50. You know, and it's some women that have to pay spousal support to their husbands for what the, you know. I mean, really, I'm telling you the truth. So, you know, you're saying that you're not jealous. You're there to help. You're there to develop, to encourage.
Yep.
Because you have your own dreams and goals.
I have my own dreams and goals, and when we got together, you were already on your path. You're already on your mission. So what business is it of mine to stop you from what you're doing when you're already moving? It's like a freight train is going to a certain place, and I'm going to stop that train because I want to get on.
You get ran over.
If I'm going to get on the track and stop this train.
Yeah.
You know, I missed that train before it even took off.
Exactly.
I should have known. I should have known on schedule. But you already have something that you're doing. You have a dream. You already have not really a dream. You have a destination that you want to get to, and it's my job to help you get there because you're already rolling. And there's nothing wrong with that.
You're so awesome.
That's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be. Oh my God.
It's
supposed to be. And you know, the funny thing is that I was telling Bruce, it's been 3 years of us being married. Our anniversary came up on May the 30th. And I was telling Bruce, I said, you know, I really experienced peace with him. You know, it's a song that Beyonce sings. It's called Halo. As a matter of fact, I walked out to it on our wedding. You know, and then in one of the verses she said, "Remember those walls I built? Well, they came tumbling down. I didn't even put up a fight. It didn't even make a sound." You understand what I'm saying? And she's talking about how she put a hedge around herself to protect herself, but having that person in her life, they're taking down the bricks, and it's just naturally. And I was telling Bruce, I say, you know, I think that when you came in my life because I've known you all these years. I've known you to be a man of integrity. I know you know my children, you know. I mean, it's one thing to marry a friend because he don't see me sick, he don't see me with my hair on my head, he don't see me, but with the pajamas, putting the kids to bed. He don't see all facets of me, and we was just friends. We could talk about different things and stuff like that, and it's so funny. And I said to him one time, Tracy, I said, I don't know how this gonna go because you know too much. I said, you know too much, man. You just know too much. But it's a beautiful thing when you can form an alliance with your friend. Mm-hmm. Somebody that you know that they got your back, they selfless, they're not here to harm, they're here to nurture, and they're here to support. And if you can find somebody that, like it says, every mind needs friendly contact with other minds. We just can't do it by ourselves. We need other minds for food of expansion and growth. But when you see abuse, if you identify any forms of abuse, that's an alliance that needs to be taken down. That needs to be recognized. It needs to be identified right away. Don't do a double dutch like, should I be there, shouldn't I be there? Should I be there, shouldn't I be there? Should I be just playing mind tricks with yourself? And, that's something that you got to really, really do. You really, really got to focus on that and look at that. Another question, Bruce, we have is, how do you allow your spouse, that word allow is cracking me up, how do you allow your spouse to have their own identity? We talked about when people get married, they kind of lose themselves because it's like, let me speak from a woman perspective. Women, we are taught that we supposed to stand by your man. We stand by, which of course we're going to do it, but we're taught that it's all about him. Isn't that right?
Yeah.
We're taught that. I mean, really, let me think about it. We're not taught about what is the role for is yourself, of knowing yourself, of being who God's called. We're told, little girls growing up, that it's all about him.
Pleasing your man.
Pleasing your man, because if you don't please him, what's the other thing they say? Somebody else will. What you don't do, girl, somebody else will. Right? So, I heard Jada Pinkett Smith say on her Red Talk table thing, she said that, she got to a point where she was like, well, then, listen, if he want to go where somebody else want to please him, well, let him go then. Because I'm not going to be sitting up here stressed out and worrying, sick as a dog and you hungry, but I'm sick and I got to go down here and cook you. I mean, just craziness. How do you embrace, instead of,
much better word.
Don't you like that
Much
word?
better
Embrace.
Yeah.
How do you embrace your wife and support her identity?
That's a good
I mean,
ain't that good? I know it's good. It's good.
But it's so easy. It's so easy because your identity is what attracted me to you in the first place.
Woo!
Okay.
So if I wanted you to change your identity, then I didn't really want you in the first place.
Oh, wow.
Why would you want to have somebody who is a certain way, or the way that they are, the way that you were attracted to them, and want them to change? If you want them to change, there's something wrong with you. Either you were looking at the wrong thing when you went for them, knowing it wasn't what you wanted in the first place, and thought you can brush some stuff off and what you want is underneath, or there's something wrong with you. Yeah. When you looked at them, were you in a bad place when you got with them? Now you're in a better place and you want them to change. So is it you that's changing, or you were the wrong person for them in the first place? So to answer the question in a roundabout way, if I want to embrace, or if I have a problem embracing you and your personality and what you want to do, then it was a wrong fit.
Wow. And it's funny because I told Bruce, I said, I think I prayed for you more than I prayed for myself. You understand what I'm saying? I say it's funny because for the first time in my life being in a relationship, I'm actually focused on you. You know what I'm saying? I'm focused, whereas before I felt like in previous relationships that I was fighting for my own voice. I was fighting to be heard, and there's nothing wrong with me. Just because I have a dream, you know, I am a woman. Hear me roar. I just kidding. Roar, you know, but you know, I felt like, you know, I can simply be me. And remember, I always say, baby, is there anything that you need me to do? And you will always say,
just be yourself.
just be yourself. That's what he would say. I was like, oh my goodness. And it's funny because it's what a mastermind alliance should be. I'm concerned about your well-being, and you're concerned about my well-being.
And what do I always say?
All things Jean.
One thing, Jean?
All things Jean.
There's two things, Jean.
Oh my God.
All things, Jean.
He always say that. I said, not all things, because it's the thing. Bruce too. Now we got to throw Bruce in there. And but it's funny because my children, and it's a beautiful thing. Because my children, they're adults now, young adults. They're all in their 20s. And they see this relationship. And they always say, man, this is a beautiful relationship. And my youngest son, Darnell, he said to me the other day, he said he loves how you met Vincent. He loves how Vincent take care of his wife. And he loves how Bruce take care of me. And he said it inspired him to be that same type of man. And I'm like, wow, that is awesome. People are watching. Like you guys watching right now? Yeah, but people are always watching. And they may not click in and let you know that they're present, but they're watching. And one of the things is that when I have to say, I know that Bruce was anointed and appointed to be in my life. Because I felt like if I could have a picture of two shoes on stage, it would be some combat boots and it would be some heels. And when I met Bruce, I was able to take off the combat boots and be comfortably in my heels. Isn't that awesome?
That's beautiful. That's good.
Yeah, she said that's good.
That's right.
Yes, because I felt
That's
like
the way it's supposed to
all during my adult life, striving to I was told that, you have a strong voice. You need to tone it down. You don't need to really be opinionated. You just need to follow. I'm like, that's not me. God gave me what the hell reason? I'm not a roach. I'm gonna run around like a.
Why in the world would there be all these different personalities if a woman is supposed to be just one way?
Right.
I think society back in the day was a certain way, that women was a certain way. Men was out there doing all the fighting in war, so we had to be taken care of by the woman. But now, I mean, even back then, there were certain instances where the men were not doing what they're supposed to do. Women had to come forward. So there's an equal role.
Thank you.
The men do what they do, the women do what they do, but they take care of each other. They complement each other.
It's supposed to be that way. And
each other.
Yes. And one of the things is that I think that Bruce is like, how can I say it? Bruce is like the gentle giant in my life. You know what I'm saying? He's a giant, but he's gentle. You understand what I'm saying? He holds his own. He corrects me if I'm wrong, but he does it in such a way that you don't even know you're being corrected.
Yeah, with class and grace.
What'd you say?
With class and grace.
With class and grace. I mean, he really does. It's like when he says something, and it's so funny that I'm in a different way in my life, because I know it's God and his personality, because it's more so now I'm not like mad and upset. It's more like almost like a baby in a sense, like, but I didn't mean it that way. What are you saying, Bruce? And he'd be like, baby, no. Listen, that's what I'm saying. And I pout.
She will pout.
I will pout, like a
and
little
I feel
kid.
bad.
And then I stop pouting because I don't want him to feel bad.
I spoil her.
Yeah.
He flows in his role.
What'd you say?
He flows in his role.
Yeah. Oh, I like that. Flow in your role. I like that. That's nice.
He knows his role, so he flows in his role.
But the thing about it is, I think when forming a mastermind alliance, I think that, like you said, roles, lanes, I think that we have to embrace what it is that God put in us. And it's okay that I may not have his expertise. He may not have my expertise, but we could come together like, little kids and share, like, what do you think about this? And what do you think about that? And we can bounce ideas because like he said, you need it to establish, to help create an environment that nurturing growth. You need other people. Every mind needs friendly contact with other minds. We can't, here's another thing, ladies that's listening. We're in a service industry. We're in a people industry. I don't know. I love to see my husband network. Talk to women and men. You understand? It's not,
You're not
no, I'm not threatened because, he don't belong to me. He belonged to God. But we do have this universal contract with God that we said we come together and we're going to be faithful to one another. But I don't want to stunt his growth if maybe this sister has a nugget that God gave her that he needs to hear.
Right.
But because I don't want to, if I got to watch you like a hawk, then you're somebody I don't need to be with. Yep. And that's just something that one lady came to me in a conference one time. And she said to me, well, before, let me go back and say this. I told Bruce, I said, God is going to elevate us to a place where, yes, you're an attractive brother, but the women are not going to be looking at you because you're an attractive brother. They're going to be looking at you because you got this paper.
Got the money.
And I said, be careful with that. If somebody want to pass you a number, you tell them, give it to my wife. If a man want to give me a number, I say, give it to my husband. You understand? I said,
you got to cover it down for each
other. We have to. And I said, just be careful. Don't go nowhere by yourself with a woman. You don't need nobody making up some crap, coming up with false stories. Just preparing him for what God is about to do. And this one lady, we was at a conference, and she saw how Bruce was moving and shaking, and I'm moving and shaking. We're talking, shaking hands, doing this and that. And she said, wow, it is awesome that you allow your husband to be. I said, what do you mean by that? She said, I've seen women that they be glued to them. Locked in. All in.
They know something about their husband.
You understand? Exactly.
Uh-huh.
And I told the sister, I said, well, I'm a free spirit. I'm striving every day to be a righteous woman. I said, my main thing is I want my husband to be free. I want him to walk in his righteousness. And if I have to watch him and hold his hand and, baby, don't you talk. I saw you looking at that lady kind of too long, honey. I saw you. It's a fight. I'm going to throw something else that is so hilarious. It is still, we're talking about alliances. But I identified that this is a man. Y'all would say this is a man, right?
Yes.
Okay. I identify as a man. I identify that my man likes looking at beautiful things. I too like looking at beautiful and handsome things. So it's funny, when I see a woman and she's very beautiful, I compliment her. You're a very beautiful woman. And if she's curvaceous or whatever, what I would tend to do is I will look the other way and come back, and that's my husband's signal that he can look freely. Because I don't want him to be fidgeting over there like, oh, Lord. And I'm not talking in an animalistic way, but in an admiration like, oh, wow, that's a beautiful sister. I don't want him to be feeling like he tied down. Am I making sense?
Yes.
I can imagine men watching right now. I want my wife to do that. You hear that, honey? You hear that? You know what she do? You gotta do the same thing. Let's practice that.
Oh, my goodness. It's different. It's different because it's like, I don't want him to feel like he in prison. Like, he can't be a man. Good night. It's too many. There's nothing wrong with admiring the roses. How about that? But he
just don't pick them.
I just want to say, we there. I said, but he just picked one. You understand?
Right.
Ain't nothing wrong. You pick one, but there's nothing wrong with admiring the, oh, the roses are nice out here. And so somebody asked me, how did I get to that position? And I said, because I want for my husband what I want for myself. You understand? And I am comfortable in my skin. He's comfortable in his skin. We know that all we want is one another. I'm not going to do anything to disrespect my husband. He's not going to do anything to disrespect me. But it's funny because it's like, I'll give you an example, especially with older women in the category of 60 and up. I don't know, they just attracted to this man right here. And it's so funny. It's one lady, remember we was at a conference, this one lady, she, oh my God, she just kept hugging on Bruce, hugging on Bruce, hugging on Bruce. And she said, see, I can get away with it because I'm an elderly woman.
I get the elderly pass.
Is that what she said? I get, and she just, while she said it, she just rubbed.
I'm looking right at you.
Yeah, I'm an elderly woman. It look like he a little doggy or something. good boy.
That be considered a cougar or older than that?
Oh no, she was a young cougarish. You understand? And she said, and I can get away with it and stuff, and giving Bruce a hug, and Bruce just smiling. I said to her, to a certain extent. Hello, I said, I give you a little bit. You don't got the hug. You probably got his cologne on you right now because you hug real tight. I said, you don't got the rub. Now it's time to step now. It's all about the business. But it was so funny. Bruce always, my mama was like that about it. My mama, she used to flirt with my husband all the time. I was like,
mine did too.
I was like, Mom, good night. What is it? I'm sorry, baby. That's what she would say. I can't help it. Bruce is a nice guy. I said, Bruce, you get hugged by everybody, don't you? I said, one day I'm just going to tell Bruce, stand in the room, hold your arms out, and let the singer sisters get a good hug from a good man.
Have your receipt to pay.
So they can get it out their system. Good night. But I really we're talking about allowing people to have their own identity, allowing people to be who God has called them, not being so uptight and trying to be in control. I don't want to be with somebody I got to control. I just think that it's not liquid, it's not flowing. It's like, it's a fear. It's a fear that's there, and it's not growing.
Insecurity.
Yeah, it's insecurity. It's a fear there. I know you said in a relationship you had before, boy, you could even look towards a sister. What you looking at? What you looking at? I said, that's just...
Give me your eyeballs. Take them out.
Oh, my God. I said, I think that's, like you said, it's insecurity. It's insecurity. It's a fear. And I think that is knowing that maybe you're not with the right person. Maybe you can't handle that person, so you have the fear that, oh wow, maybe he's going to meet the right one that's supposed to be one. I think that's what, don't you think that's what, I think that's what that was. Okay, can a couple really work together and embrace each other's skills, talents, and abilities and have peace with one another? What you say to that question?
Yes.
Okay, why you say yes?
If a person is married to another person, that's what they're doing. So,
but these people got, y'all the one came up with these questions, so
I
don't know what's going on out there, man. These questions are
you have a household business and you have a corporation business. It's the same thing.
Okay.
I mean, I don't see no difference in it.
That's right.
I don't know. They came up with
what y'all ask you. You gonna marry somebody and can't do business with them?
Well,
y'all doing business in the house?
Well, I think to be fair, what somebody was saying was that it's too much. It's team too much.
It's not team too much.
Like
you're not marrying just a man or just marrying a woman. You're marrying your friend.
Right.
And when you're kids, you want to hang out with who?
Your friend.
All day, every day. You with your friends.
Every day.
So your husband and your wife is your best friend. Be with them all day, every day. This is Gene, and I'm a Gene Hovis witness.
Oh, and I'm a Bruce Lowe.
That's right.
I
know these people crying. But the thing, And I think the reason why they were saying it was like, because they was asking me, how do I work with you? You know, that yes, you're my husband, you're doing your own thing, and I'm doing my thing, but then we work together. Do we get tired of being around each other all the time? And do we get into argumentative space? And it made me think about when, you know, I'm a perfectionist, okay? That's one of my things, I guess.
So am I.
Yeah, oh God.
Yeah,
and God had to put somebody very analytical in my life. He is very analytical to the point where it feels like a scratch just won't go away. I was like, oh, Bruce, goodness. But one of the things is that when we first started doing workshops and seminars together, you know, I would come in the room while he's setting up. And I got to make sure this is like this and this is like, and then, you know, one day he came up with a song. He came up with da 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 da.
Don't ask me no questions.
Let me do my work. And when I told you, he know how to correct me without being hard. And when he did that, I was like, I said, yes,
sir. Let me do my work.
I said, I am going to leap out of the hotel room right now. And I think I went up there to our room and I said, I'll come down when it's almost time. Because when I came in, everything was set up. Everything was the way it was supposed to be. The board was, and I said, okay.
I had to learn to, I mean, when she would put her things together, I would try to get in and ask questions, things like that. And that wasn't my lane. So I had to not do the same thing to her, and she had to stop doing what she was doing to me. But she wanted to make sure that things was right. But I understand initially we had to figure out how each other worked, you know, what our expertise was, how we preferred things to be when we're, you know, doing our thing. So I had to make sure I knew what she was doing so I can get it that way. And that's all it was really, you know, and we had to understand each other.
And the funny thing that I've never heard you say, okay, I know that this is business, Gene, so we got to switch to business. It's like, regardless if I was in business mode, personal mode, you just adjusted to what
it's the same thing.
You know?
Because, of course, when it's time for business, she gets really, 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 really intense.
What's my name?
She's the hatchet. She's the hatchet.
Oh, God.
You know, sometimes we're like, I'll always, you know, joke that when we get into discussions about certain things, it's like doing verbal martial arts.
Oh, Lord.
Ching, 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 ching. I'll say something. Ching, 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 ching.
Yep.
No.
Yep.
My confusion is better than yours. You know,
yep.
But we had to understand each other, you know, and once I got to the point that I was understanding that she's going to be intense when it's time for business. I can't take nothing personal. She wants it right, and I have to have it right. You know, I'm the same way. I want things done a certain way when it's time to have the screens, projector, the cameras, you know, the PowerPoint stuff. You got to have it right. You know, I want it right for her. You know, she wants her stuff right for me. You know, I don't want to hear nothing from her. She don't want to hear nothing from me. And it's not that we wouldn't like to hear it, but I'd rather make sure that the stuff is done properly, so she can be comfortable with what she needs. You know, it's all about serving. It's really all about serving.
Yeah.
You know, I want to serve her the best way I can because that's what I'm here for. You know, that's my wife. That's my best friend. You know.
And I'm just checking the questions. We have people on live just answering questions. They said they enjoying this right here. Thank you, guys. But another question I have is, okay, so can a couple work together and praise? Okay, we answered that one.
Yes, we can. We can work together. You
Work
can live together.
work together
married,
in peace.
You can work together. Yeah, you can.
In
Yeah.
harmony.
I mean, it's the same thing. If you got stuff going on in the house, business-wise, same thing you got going on corporate-wise. You still the same people. You just may get to a different level of intensity because you're doing it for a larger audience or a larger scale or a larger reason versus just being in your house. But your corporation is still your house.
And then I think, too, I have become a great problem solver. Because when you ask God for something, you have to be ready to receive it. You have to be aligned with that assignment, because you can ask for something, get it, and lose it. So you have to be ready for that thing. There is preparation before you get what it is that God wants you to have. And even like when I think somebody was asking me, before I married Bruce, like I said, I was in this, like I was doing my Pat Benatar, love is a battlefield. We are young, I had my arm with Pat, like, yes, Pat, it is a battlefield, gosh darn it. And I'm tired of walking around with these boots.
And battle scars.
And I was like, I was feeling that passion, like, yeah, let's sing it, but one of the things is I really started working on myself. And I said I was not going to allow my past to put my future in a wheelchair. And so what I began to do is I said, I can't change the man that I was with. I can't change who's my mom, who's my dad. I can't change the family that I'm in. But all day long, I can change me. I can work on me. So I began to, we're talking about forming a mastermind alliance. Before you can get the right people, there's some self-evaluation, when you agree, Bruce, that you have to do, because you might keep attracting that same negative people. So there's some purging, right? A degree of separation has to happen before you even form a new alliance. And one of the things that I had to do, I had to forgive myself. I had to forgive others, even when, and it's funny, I called my ex-husband and I said to him, I said, listen, I appreciate you being there for my kids. I really appreciate you being there for that time. But I said, if there's anything that I did to offend you, will you forgive me? And he said yes. And then he asked the same question. If I did anything to offend you, will you forgive me? And forgiveness was not necessarily for him. It was for me. Because I needed to go to the next level. So it was some stuff like a rocket that I had to shed in order for me to go to another level. Because pain and hurt and bitterness and angry and jealousy will hold you back. You can't even get to the right mind or minds to even form anything. I've seen good women and good men get good people and lose them because they still had some bitterness, some unresolved issues, problems with themselves. They drew whatever you have in you, you're going to draw that to you. Yeah, and so that was one of the things that, of course, I read The Magic of Believing. I read, Think and Grow Rich. I read, there was another book that this woman, it was a feminine book, it was talking about femininity and things of that nature. And it's so funny, as I began to purge and work on myself, then I heard God say, and embrace your femininity. You understand? Embrace it. It's okay to be powerful. It's okay to be a woman. Embrace it, right? And, I start, really embracing my femininity. And it's so funny because that's way before Bruce. I was just working on different things. And you always say, you're such a what?
You're just such a woman.
Literally, I see him watching me, getting ready. I'm doing my makeup. I'm doing this and that. And he just said, you're such, the way you talk, the way you use your hands, the way you,
9493.
Oh my goodness, stop. He said, that's how I say my telephone number, And it's funny because I began to purge those things that was not me. And I began to work on those things that was me. So when I would see women like yourself just all together, hair looking nice and all, I was like, ooh, girl, that's how I met my best friend that's probably watching right now, one of my girlfriends. I just see Felicia, how she dressed, and every day she would come to, every Tuesday we had a meeting in this business that we were in. And it was funny because when she would come to me, I didn't know her, not at all. I just saw how she dressed. And I was like, okay, sister got it together. And then, you know, the next Tuesday, I was like, oh, look at it, she got the purse. Okay, I like that. And then the next Tuesday, I said, okay, now she's showing out. And I said, what's going on here? And one lady said, do you know every Tuesday you compliment this woman? She don't know how many compliments you give her. You should maybe go meet her. I said, you know what? Gosh darn it, I'm going to go meet her. And I came over and I said, hi, Felicia. She said, hi, Jean. And that was so funny. I said, I came to meet you. She said, meet me? You already know me, And I think that from that, we've been glued to the hip, right? We just glued to, I think she thinks she my twin. I'm older, so she need to sit down. I told her, I said, I've been here before you a few months, okay? But the funny thing is, where I saw power, I was attracted, whether the femininity, the way a woman dressed. I saw a woman embracing her talent. I said, I want some of that. And I see somebody that's doing, you know what I'm saying? So I was collecting these minds. And I was like, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing, I don't understand jealousy. And I know what jealousy is. It's telling you that you will not get it. So I got to be jealous of you because I don't think I'm going to get that.
Right.
And you can't form, I think when we're talking about husband and wife relationships, relationship with your children, relationship with your business partners, you can't work in an environment of jealousy. What do you say about that?
Well, you can't work in an environment of jealousy. Like you said, if a person is jealous of you, then they are already putting in their brain that they can't do what it takes, or they don't have what is necessary to get what you've got. Even if you want to teach them the same thing, they still will rather be jealous of you because of what you have, how you look, or what have you, versus being the best them that they can be, and still going that same way and get what you got. It may not be the exact same thing, but hey, I know that I've worked myself to get this. It may not be this, like say for instance, a person who wants to get an exotic car, exotic vehicle or whatever. They may not have the exact same thing that you have, physically, mentally, or whatever, but they can be taught to develop that to get somewhere near it. And with that development, they can keep on moving forward until they do have it.
And when I did the financial piece yesterday, I talked about points of distribution. You can have points of distribution with different minds too. Like I can leverage your intelligence. I can leverage your intelligence. I don't have to know everything. But I can know those who do. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. It's all about leverage.
Yeah, that's leverage. It's the power of leverage. It's when I think about that, I think about forming a mastermind alliance. And I think I want to wrap up this portion. I'm trying to see if I found that Napoleon Hill, because I put this book together, and in there, guys, I want to tell you. Go look up Napoleon Hill, How to Form a Mastermind Alliance, because he breaks down, what it is that you need to have a definite purpose, and then you need to determine what appropriate benefit each member may receive in return for his corporation in the alliance. Then you got to establish a definite place where the members of the alliance will meet, have a definite plan, and arrange a definite time for mutual discussion of the plan. Okay? And then it says when you have established rapport between your mind and his mind or her mind or others in your mastermind alliance, you will find that ideas will flow into the minds of each of the members and likewise into your own mind. Have a round table discussion where everybody come together, meet, and allow them to speak freely with confidence. It's important that frequent and regular contact be made between the members. We're talking about when you have a mastermind alliance, how it must flow. It is the burden of the leader of the alliance to see that harmony among all members is maintained and that the action is continuous in the pursuit of definite major objectives. Okay? The watchword of the alliance should be definite of purpose, positiveness of plan, backed by continuous perfect harmony. And then it says the last thing, the number of individuals in alliance should be governed entirely by the nature and magnitude of the purpose to be attained. If you're going after a purpose comparable to that of Mr. Edison, you will require a large number of persons with special talents and training. A lesser undertaking will call for a corresponding smaller group. Okay? If a man cannot find that harmony, which I have mentioned as being desirable between man and wife, it is possible for a man to form a purely economic alliance with a woman other than a wife. Okay? So we're talking about mastermind alliance. We're talking about, the definite of purpose. Why do we build a mastermind alliance? And just to wrap that up, the mastermind principle consists of alliance of two or more minds working in perfect harmony for the attainment of a common definite objective. What is the definite of purpose? Okay, that no man can become a permanent success without taking others along with him. And that's the main thing when you come together. When you say we use marriage, but it's the same thing in business. You have a definite purpose. What is said go? What's our objectives? Who do we need to bring in? Are we coming together in peace and harmony? Are we coming there to nurture and grow said definite purpose? Can the person speak freely in a harmonious way without causing hurt, harm, or danger? Can we meet in a peaceful environment, right, to form the alliance that needs to happen? And that's the thing with us. We're learning with building the Tiffany's Wealth Creators Inner Circle and a mastermind group. We're learning with building that alliance with people, because our mission is to help people to win in the skin they're in, so they can go out there and tell the stories of lives transformed. That is our mission. And like I was talking to, I'm going to wrap this up, and I thank you so much, Bruce, for being here. Let's give it up for Mr. Davis on this part right here. I really, really appreciate it. People laugh. They laugh. They laugh because, Bruce he don't speak too much, and I really appreciate him. We're going to move to the next portion of this, mind, body, and soul, keys to physical healing. We're going to talk about that in just a second. And one of the things is that what I love is that understanding the purpose is bigger than me. You understand? The purpose is bigger than me. And that's the thing, even with our marriage, coming together to form an alliance, we look at each other and we say, our marriage is to glorify the kingdom of God. That's what our marriage is for, to glorify the kingdom of God, that man and woman can come together to strive to have perfect harmony, to bring about the mission and goal that God has placed in our heart. You understand? That's what it is. If it ain't about the kingdom, then hey, we ain't doing it. Ain't that right, babe? We say if it ain't going to glorify the Creator, we're not going to do it. So we always get back to the mission. And it's funny because when we got married barefoot. And we did that on purpose. We did it because we said we're going to bare our souls before God. We walked out there in the past. And it was so funny because the minister, we found him on that app that you find different people, I forgot the name of it, that you can request. What was it called, honey? It's not Yelp, but it's something similar to that.
Angie's List?
No,
not Angie's List. It's something similar to that you can type in, I need a minister, and they send you the different things that you need. I don't know, but we found this preacher. I liked him because he was Thumbtack. There you go. I liked him because he was tall. He had this Italian look to him, and I said, all I can see is that I'm going to make you an offer you can't refuse. We was teasing teasing him when we made. We was like, he just looked like the. I said, you got to be at our wedding. We got to have that feel at our wedding because we're silly. But anyways, we are. But it's funny because we said, thank you, I love you. And I'll see you soon. And so we pursuing going to the next level. What we're going to talk about, babe. Does this mean that this mic is going bad? It's flashing.
Flashing?
Yeah. So I might need another mic.
You can take this one.
Thank you.
I think you too.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you.
I appreciate both of y'all.
Yes, thank you, honey.
I'm excited about what God's about to do.
Yes, ma'am. I am
Taking
too.
back control.
Yes.
Yes.
Amen.
I'll talk to you tomorrow. Thanks, Jean.
You're welcome, darling. And so, guys, listen. When we talk about mind, body, and soul, can we go to the next slide? Mind, body, and soul, keys to physical healing. Forgiveness is not for the party that wronged you. It is for you. You must be willing to let go, forgive yourself, and forgive others, and let it go. Become aware. Ask yourself questions. Now, this piece right here, we're going to develop this even more, get more into it. But we're talking about mind, body, and soul. Keys to physical healing. And when I talk about this, guys, what it makes me think about is letting go of past hurt, past pain, forgiving yourself, realizing that you're not perfect. We weren't put on this planet to be perfect. We are in human form, willing, but the flesh is weak, and we are striving to be at a higher level. Now, I don't like when people say, I think it's a cop-out, really, when people say, well, I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect. I think that's just an excuse to do said junk and mess and things of that nature. We know you're not perfect. You have to own up to what it is that you've done or who you wrong and things of that nature. And sometimes, guys, we can wrong a person and didn't even know that we wronged them, right? But that's where communication come into play. And one of the things that when I was talking about, we was just talking about building strong relationships, forming a mastermind alliance. I knew that I wanted to be married. I knew there were some things that I had to let go of. I knew there was some transformation within myself that I needed to do. And so what I did is I started working on myself. And like you heard me say, those who just joined us, thank you. We're getting ready to wrap up the Impact Weekend. It's been powerful, has it not? Woo! It's been powerful. We're wrapping it up. One of the things is when I decided to start, working on the mind, the body, the soul, what I began to do is I began to look at where was I hurting. Like I for example, let me give you an example. I remember that I used to weigh soaking wet. I used to weigh 115 pounds all my young adult life. And then when my children's father abandoned me and left me with the babies, I was getting hit on so much, guys. I was, because I have all these hips and, and me, really, really skinny waist and like that stuff, what you gotta say, that round thing, I was getting hit up so much. I just started eating. And I think I put on a form of protection that I wanted to protect myself. I didn't want people, I said, maybe if I do this and gain weight, maybe nobody won't come to me. But it was a lot of pain and hurt and being abandoned. And I'm like, come on, I was a God-fearing woman. I was a good mother, a good wife. Why would someone leave? It was just so much pain there that I didn't realize that a lot of the weight was psychological because I was holding on to the pain. That was my story. I only tell my story now to educate, to motivate, to train, not as a crutch or anything of that nature, but somebody else that's watching live or here, they may be going through the same thing. And so I had to go within myself to say, that's not my story anymore. I need to forgive that individual for what they did, and I need to embrace who God has made me. I am a strong woman. I'm a believer. I'm a go-getter, and I started focusing on what am I? Who am I? What is it that I'm supposed to be doing? And I said, okay, the main thing that I need to do right now is I need to forgive. I need to forgive. I need to forgive. Let me write that down. Forgiveness. I wrote, forgiveness equals power to heal oneself. Have you realized that a lot of times when people are abused, people are hurt, people are let down, I heard a minister say that when you are dissatisfied and not at ease, it brings on disease. And I was like, wow, there's some truth in that right there. Dissatisfaction and not being at ease bring on disease. And so one of the things that I said in part of healing myself and making sure that I don't develop anything crazy because I'm holding on to past hurt, past pain, I said that I must forgive myself. I must forgive those who have hurt me. And I have to let this negative energy go. I said, because I don't want to be walking around with disease because I'm dissatisfied and I'm not at ease. I have to allow myself to heal. And in order for me to physically heal, I got to forgive. That's why you hear most speakers, most people will say, forgiveness is not for them, it's for you. And I used to be like, huh? That don't make it what? It's not. Well, look, they need to come and ask me for forgiveness. That's what they need, because they did me wrong. And I don't understand how they can say that. But as I went on, I said, it's not about me getting forgiveness for them. It's for me to forgive the things that they have done, and for me to learn what it is that I need to learn. Because, guys, what you don't understand is we gather information. This brain, all it is a recorder. It collects information and it plays back, right? And you have to be very careful what kind of information you're collecting, And so I had to understand that there's a lesson in the good, there's a lesson in the bad. And even, I think it's Socrates that said, there's nothing either good or bad, only thinking makes it so. And I was like, okay, because if you look at it as it's a lesson in it, you will see, okay, this part right here is going to help me to heal. It's going to help me to grow mentally. It's going to help me to grow spiritually. It's going to help me to grow physically. When you are lifting weights, I started working out. I lost 30 pounds. You guys can't see, I got this long shirt on, and I keep pulling up my pants because they're dropping. I didn't wear a belt today. And so, but the thing about it is I've been working out. I feel great. My energy is high. I'm happy. I'm grateful. I'm thankful. I'm walking into abundance. And when I started lifting weights, doing the physical strengthening training, they call it strengthening training. And when you're lifting the weights, when you get to a certain rep, you get what they call muscle, what is it called, babe? Muscle failure. Muscle failure. Okay, meaning that I'm like, Oh God. I hear them being encouraging from afar. Like, go ahead, pull it, you got it, You know, and like, oh man, that's when the workout, they say, has begun. When you reach that muscle failure. It take my husband to break all that stuff down. You know, but pain is a gift that no one wants to receive. That's what my good friend Ethan said. And I heard him say that one time. And I was like, that is the truth. Because when you push past out, you start developing biceps, triceps, the back looking good for the sundress, you know? You start feeling yourself, you in the mirror like dun 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 dun. You start feeling good, but when you was working out, it wasn't feeling too good. But the thing about it, guys, you know, in order to heal, you got to push past the pain. You got to push past the pain. You got to believe in yourself. You got to forgive others. And it starts with, when he said mind, body, and soul, become aware of where you are in your life. Ask questions. Ask yourself questions. Who am I? What is my goal? Am I on track? Who are my friends? What am I watching? What am I listening to? What do I believe? What have I accomplished? What are my failures? What are my successes? What are my beliefs? You know, these are questions that you, when you begin to ask yourself, it will bring you to a point of revelation. It will bring you to a point of healing. Especially when you ask yourself, who and what do I need to let go? Because some people you need to let go in your life to heal. Wouldn't you agree with that, Bruce?
Oh, yeah.
Some people you got to let go and make no apologies for it. Mm-hmm. Make no apologies for it, guys. I'm telling you right now. Because that's what I had to do. I had to look at what it is that I needed to let go. Even beliefs that was put in me as a child, mm-hmm. that as a grown man, ask myself, what is it that I believe? Who am I hanging around? What am I reading? What am I watching? Because like I said, this right here, the mind, is nothing more than a data collector. When I watched The Secret, that's what she said. I said, I've been saying that. It's a data collector. We are often playing back said events, things from the past, things that we collected, and either we can accept it or we can what? Reject it. Delete. Control, Alt, Delete, right? We can what? Reboot. That's what they said. You know, you can reboot. And so that's what I had to do. I had to Control, Alt, and Delete, because I said, this just is not what God wants me to be a part of. What is my said truth? We're talking about keys to physical healing. Baby, go to the next slide, because I don't know if I put anything else up there with this. Okay, great. So when I want to wrap this up, because we're going to take a quick break and we're going to come in and conclude with our financial thermostat, 10x your income and gamify your life. I'm so excited about that. You know, but what I want to say is, one of the things that you need to do is, in anything in life, I told my children, you have to identify where you are. If we go over, we're right over here in the Marriott Hotel. We're right across the street from Cumberland. That's a mall here in Atlanta. If I want to find Macy's, there's going to be a board there that's going to say, you are here. And then it's going to show me from where I'm at how to go to where I want to go. And I think in life, when we look for healing, sometimes we try to ignore where we are. But I think that the main point, if you don't hear anything else I say this evening, if you decide to chime off or jump off or leave, you know, one of the things that I want you to understand is you need to identify not now, but right now, where you are. You need to identify it. Don't deny yourself the truth. Don't lie to yourself. If you need to lose weight or get rid of the weight, get rid of it so you can live a longer life, so we can celebrate you. I mean, that's what I'm doing. I'm in my journey of getting rid of weight. I got rid of 30 pounds. I didn't lose it because I'm not looking to find it again. And I'm continuously working on myself, getting better each and every day, letting go of the past, letting go of the hurt, letting go of the pain, forgiving those people and things that happened in my life that, just necessarily was a part of the sauce of me. The sauce of me. I like that right there. Giving me all the flavoring that I need to go out here and do what God has called me to do. So I had to learn to forgive. And I had to identify where I'm at right now and where do I want to go. And then I had to ask the question, what is the next step? Then I had to accept what the next step is. Then I had to go into action mode, because nothing changes until you're ready to change. Period, point blank. You have to be ready. If you want to mentally heal yourself, spiritually heal yourself, financially heal yourself, guys, you got to identify where you are, what you need to let go, what you need to bring into your life. New books, things that's going to help you, new trainings like this. Go to as many trainings as you can go to. Go to as many meetings you can go to. Invest in yourself. Not just invest money-wise, but invest in your mind. Invest in your money. Put the good things in your body. Invest in your soul. Invest financially. Invest emotionally. Be careful who you hang around. Be careful who you listen to. Be careful what you're reading. Be careful what you allow to enter into your ear gate, your eye gate, what you allow come out your mouth, because you're creating, whether you're doing it deliberately or in delivery, you are creating. So you got to be careful. But please, please, please identify where you need help and get the help. Because as you heard me say before, the Mastermind Alliance, you can't get to the next level by yourself. And whoever told you that, they lied to you. You have to find an alliance where you can grow and you can learn in a harmonious manner. So guys, I want to thank you for that portion right there. Mastermind Alliance, we did build strong relationships, mind, body, and soul. Keys to physical healing is to forgive yourself, forgive yourself, forgive yourself. Identify where you are. Get the help. Begin to put in new information. Begin to work on yourself. Realize that it's a process. Realize that you are a woman becoming, you are a man becoming, and allow yourself to make mistakes. So guys, what we're going to do, we're going to take a quick break. You're going to see that we're not going to stop the video. We're just going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back to wrap it up with Financial Thermostat, 10x your income and gamify your life. Thank you so much.
All right.
We might get finished early again.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys. We are coming to the conclusion of Impact 2018 Purpose, Passion, Power, and Endless Possibilities, guys. Woo! It's been a power-packed 2 days. Guys that have been here live, we appreciate you guys who are watching live, watching the replay. Guys, look, we're universal about this thing. Ain't that right, Bruce? We're going to do this. We blowing this thing up, man. When we coming live to you from a studio artist. Let me stop. So what we want to talk about now, guys, is, man, this right here, we're talking about increasing your financial thermostat, 10x your income. And I got my green pencil right here. We're talking about 10x your income and gamify your life. You know, when I meet Grant Cardone, I'm going to tell him, brother, do you know I sit up here and talk about your book all the time? You need to make me an affiliate of this, man, because I tell people all the time, I promote your book, sir. All the time. You know, and so where I got this, listen to this, as long as you are alive, you will live to accomplish your goals or dreams, or you will be used to conquer someone else's goals or dreams. I got this from Grant Cardone, who, you got to Google this man. He wrote the book, The 10X Rule. You know, I don't get any proceeds for promoting it or talking about it or anything of that nature, but guys, one of the things that I love about reading this book is so much information. It aligns with what I already knew years ago that I allowed somebody else to tell me. No. You got to think small and then build your way up. You know, I was told that, Bruce. I was like, I don't think so. Like, for instance, I want to show an example. I was in a company that the top position was Crown Ambassador. Let's just say that's what it was. And then down below, you know, you might have had, let's just say, associate. Person come in there, associate. It's a position right here. I forgot a position right here. I think it was platinum, double platinum. Then it was what, sapphire, right? And then it was ruby. Then it was emerald. Then it was diamond. Then it was black diamond. No, blue diamond. Then it was black diamond. Then it was Crown Ambassador. And I don't even think that was the last, because it was a crown. Crown, then Crown Ambassador. But let's just say for this example, we're going to use this example that this is the top, very top position of this company that I was a part of. You know, that I love the products today. Okay, and this is the very bottom. And when I was working in this business as a part-time basis, I got to this position, sapphire, right? And that's a person that was doing about anywhere from 14,000 to about 39,999. Let's just say that, because Ruby was 40,000. This is what you're doing in sales, okay? And so basically, when I got to that position, of course, you know, I caught attention of some of the top leaders, some of, because this was really considered the first leadership position, right? It was the first leadership position. And so basically, now you got a mentor to work with you and to help you to go ruby, emerald, diamond, all this, that, and the other. Now, you know, I respect my mentors, I respect my coaches, but God gave me a brain too. You hear me? And something in me, when my mentor, he said, look, we're going to focus on, you know, we're going to go ruby, then this, and this. And I was saying to myself, my goal should be to go here. now I hit the first leadership position and saying, you know, I know it's going to take work. Now I need to just double up. And I was saying I need to, you know, gamify my life, take it to another level. So I was writing down, I'm so happy. Well, the next top position that you go for was diamond. And, you know, so I was saying I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm a diamond. I was saying that. And my leader at the time, my mentor, said, no, you need to focus on going ruby. And I was just thinking about when you know, please forgive me for my artisticness, my drawing, but I was thinking about when you build a house, you just don't think about just the foundation. You know, you build that whole thing out. You got to see everything, man. You got to see how this thing is going to come together, man. You got to see the basement. You got to see, right, the pipes, the electricity, you know, all this stuff. My husband, he knows about all that stuff. And so you got to see the whole thing. Just look at my pretty little house. Don't you like it? And so I was like, I felt like he just wanted me to focus on this little door right here. But I said, we building a house. We need to be able to see the whole thing. And then, of course, I know that there's levels to this thing. We start pouring and doing what we need to do. The electrician don't worry about what the plumber doing. I don't think that, right? And so basically, you know, he was about, and then Lord, and lo and behold, I got a hold of, you know, I left that company and really just went full time with just focusing on the different divisions that we have in our company. And I thank God for it, because I'm so amped up about where God is going with us in this business. And so basically, I heard Grant Cardone. I felt like he was speaking to me. Thank you, Grant, if you ever see this video. Might have to tag him in it, babe. But look, I heard, if I'm going for $10,000, I heard him say to 10x that day and make it $1 million. So if I'm going for $10,000 a month, I'm focusing on $1 million a month. So if I fail 90%, guys, I'm still going to get the $10,000 a month. Imagine if I go for $10,000 and I fail only get $1,000, right? So when I first heard this, he said that what it means to 10x is, he said, massive thought, time, massive action. So we're not talking about no imaginary craziness. We're talking about really putting in the work. If I'm believing for $1 million, okay, what is it that I can do, not now, but right now, that would help me to get closer to this vision? Now, I talked about this the other day. I didn't mean to get into it a little bit, but I did. Sometimes, you know, you just got to go with the flow of how God allows you to do things. And so basically, I jumped the boat, if you will, and I said, when I was thinking about this, when you gamify, take your mind to another level, when you begin to take your thoughts to another level, take your goals to another level, stop playing small, play big. We always say, go big or go home. Isn't that what we say? Can they see the bottom of my feet? Okay, take these off. I don't want y'all to see that. But anyway, they say, go big or go home. And so when I was thinking about this, here's something else that came along. Is a brother, I'm giving all sorts of plugs, babe. They need to be paying me. You know, I met another guy, his book, Russell Brunson, talked about expert secrets, and he talked about .com secrets. And when he was talking about, check this out. See, I feel like these people be talking to me, right? He said, what is $1 million? It's nothing more than $1,000, a product that costs $1,000. So here's a product that costs $1,000 times 1,000 people selling the product will equal $1 million. Okay? Right? Yeah. He said, and I was like, wow. And so I said, the next sensible question would be, what product do I have or products that I can sell at $1,000? Well, we have a boot camp conference that we're doing. You know, we have some mastermind elite conferences. I said, okay, well, I need to just get into developing that. Check this out. As I began, then I started asking myself, see, there's levels to my thinking. I started asking myself, look, on a sidebar, isn't it something, Bruce, that when you begin to walk in your divine purpose, how your belief goes up and how ideas begin to start coming to you? I mean, because then
you remain open.
Open. Yeah, not shut. No, don't do that. Don't do that. No, think like this. Somebody else telling you how to think. I don't think so. I like what Napoleon Hill said. He said, I had mentors and coaches, but at the end of the day, I made my own decisions. And that's how it should be. Don't let nobody tell you what you can and cannot do. Not even yourself. You can't. No, don't never say can. Okay, so here's my next thought, right? I said, why stop at $1,000 product? What if I had a product that costs $5,000? Okay, now with $5,000, a product, this is a product that I developed, and under that we have something called TIFIS, Tax Max, and we have our TIFIS Wealth Max. All this is brand new. We are developing, we're growing it, we're doing everything we need to do. Remember, you can have the best product in the world, but if you don't have the best marketing and advertising, it's just a nice product. But we know as an ex-IRS auditor and having over 20 years experience and understanding tax laws and how to be audit proof and what you need to do to protect your assets and things of that nature, I know people want the information. I know they need the information. I know they want to learn about taxes, about finance, about wealth creation. I understand that. I thank God for all the knowledge that He's blessed me with, okay? And so I said, so this product is $5,000. What if I have 200 sales of this product? Is that 1 million, Bruce? If I have a product that costs $5,000, isn't that 1 million? And I get 200 people, okay? And so basically, guys, I said, okay, I need you to be here with me, Bruce. I need you to be here with me. So when I looked at that, do you think I stopped right there? You think that cost $10,000? Whoop, and now that become $1 million. So when I listened to Russell Brunson and Grant Cardone, I said, you know what? It's not hard. It's not hard to make $1 million. I attract $1 million every day. Money meets me and greets me. I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm making over $1 million a month in profit. In profit, not in sales, in profit. Meaning that after it's all said and done, I made $1 million.
You net that.
I net that. Michael Jordan on it. And, you know, and I started looking at it. So here's the thing. I discovered that all I needed to do was to develop this. Right? To develop this. And once I developed this, now all I needed to do was focus on the marketing and the advertisement.
Yep.
And people are buying these products, are they not?
Yes, they are.
They're buying the products because they know that we know what we're talking about, man. You know, so who better to have on your side than an ex-IRS auditor to teach you how to protect your cash? $1,000, it makes sense to call an ex-IRS auditor to get you out that mess. 678-457-9493. I said 678-457-9493. It just makes sense. We're going to put the number and the websites up here before we go, so you guys who are absolutely need the help, you need us to come train your organization. You need us to come train you guys on this stuff, something that we're not talking about. We're not philosophizing. Man, we're earning some serious income. And we want to help you. So when I read this man's book, at first I think I went through a series of emotions. I think I did. And the first thing that I went through is that I was angry. Okay? I was very... I can get your questions answered. So give me a second. Okay. Yes. Okay. All right. See if anybody have any questions right now. No questions right now. Okay, so anyway, when I was looking at this, I got upset because I said, I knew that I was on the right track, man. I knew I was thinking the right way. But because, and it takes my husband to talk about this, because of this person's position or the money they made, I was like not allowing myself to believe what I knew that I needed to do. And God taught me a lesson in that. Oh my God, he taught me a lesson in that. That hit me again because when I thought about Grant Cardone said that he's not going to let the accountant, he's not going to let the salesperson or nobody tell him how to run his business and how he needs to do his ideas. He said he's not going to let the lawyer tell him how to build his business. The lawyer be telling him, I wouldn't do that. He said, I didn't ask you that. I just want to make sure these contracts is right. You know what I'm saying? I didn't ask you about that. And there's nothing wrong with walking in your boldness. There's nothing wrong with identifying your power. And there's nothing wrong with believing in what you know to be true. And so when I looked at that, I said, I always had that belief that, I always had that belief that you need to see the whole pie. When you bake a pie, does a little slice come out? I don't think so. It's the whole pie, isn't it?
Yep.
And then we divide the pie up. Come on now. And so I was looking at it and I said, I need to focus on when you have. See, here's the thing. I think a lot of people, and I'm a go as bold as this, and if y'all want to chime in, I challenge you. I challenge you to chime in, YouTube, Facebook, whoever watching, where you're watching. I challenge you to chime in and really debate me on this. But I believe when you see someone at a certain financial status, I believe it shows their work ethic. Would you agree with me on that one, Bruce?
Yeah.
I believe it shows their work ethic. I don't want to say people lazy, but people are. But what I want to say is that when you see someone making 10 million, 20 million, 30 million, it's some work ethic behind that. Because when I look at you would think Beyonce and Jay-Z would sit down somewhere, right? These folks, I mean, am I right? You would think that here it is that, people need to hear you, Bruce. They can't hear you. You would think that, and what I mean by that is they're billionaires together.
Right.
They're billionaires. So why are you still working? And I even heard Grant say that this one guy was like, man, if I had your type of money, I'd be sitting up on a lake somewhere, and floating. He said, I want to be out here working like you're working. And Grant said, that's why you're not where I'm at.
Right.
When you get there, that's another level. It's another level to this thing. And then you may have a bigger goal to who you want to help. Just like I found out yesterday, and I didn't know this, that they said that Bill Gates had a personal computer built to track his finances.
Come on now.
Good night, man. A personal computer built to track his finances. And in that is a supercomputer. And in that is programmed to give 50% of his wealth away. That's why he's the wealthiest man, one of the wealthiest. I think it's somebody else don't came, Mr. Pastor. I don't know what we saw who it was.
Yeah, another .com person.
Another .com, .net, .org, Somebody with massive thoughts, time massive activities, 10 times the amount of activities. When you look at, and I want to circle this, I get excited. I get excited when I talk about money, because ain't nothing wrong with it.
Got to have it.
He said he gave us the power to create wealth. Some of y'all sitting up here wanting somebody to do something for you that you can do for yourself. Let me write this $1 million out real big. Okay? Maybe I should put the dot. Let me go right here. You need to be put his eyes right here. Don't he look good? He look good.
Happy million.
Happy million. When you look at that, when I look at it, my mind says this is going to require a certain amount of work. That's what I say. This is going to require a certain amount of work. Am I willing to do the work to get to that? Because I'm not into that imaginary craziness stuff. I'm a believe. It's coming. I don't believe in that. I'm believing I'm going to work. I'm going to keep working. I'm going to keep believing. I'm going to keep working. I'm going to keep believing. I'm going to gather information. That's what I believe. And so basically, when I look at that, I ask myself, am I willing to do the work? That's why some people say, I don't need it. Let's tell the truth. I'm telling. Look,
I'm going to do just enough to get by.
Exactly.
I'm going to do everything I can to get just the stuff that I need just for me and mine.
But, some people say, I don't need all that. Why do you need, I remember one sister got offended because I said at the time, this was years ago, I needed $20,000 a month. You don't need all that. What do you need all that for? Good night. They would be tripping if I shared with them what I need now. Because I don't surpass that. Now it's time to go to another level because there's more people that I got to help.
Exactly.
There's more institutions that's got to be built. I want to contribute to the arts. I want to contribute to single moms. I want to contribute to single dads. It's work that's got to be done before I leave this planet. So I refuse to hang around broke, busted, disgusted people. I will not. You will not cripple my idea. You will not with your fear. Now, this sister L, honey, it's almost time to wrap this thing up. And I'm not going to leave any energy on the table. Whatever's left, I'm giving it to you. So you can't say she halfway stepping. No, ma'am. No, sir. That's not what I'm doing. I'm giving you all of me that I can give you because I appreciate you guys being here. Now, let me do this right quick. Give me 1 second, guys. So basically, when I look at that $1 million, what I look at is, guess what? It's a responsibility, okay? It's a responsibility that comes with that, okay? Am I right or am I right?
Yep.
Okay, and I'm wrapping this thing up. Some of you guys are just making sure that you guys getting the information. Some of you guys asked me some questions. Make sure this thing's not going in and out. But basically, here's what I see. Some people, they are afraid of doing the work. It has nothing to do with they can achieve it. It has nothing to do with will I achieve it. It has to do with a certain responsibility that comes with achieving it. Because when I look at, that's a lot of work right there. But what I see is a friendly $1 million.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I see it. A winner created condition in mind. And when I see a friendly $1 million, and I say to myself, "You're mine. Yep. And now what I must figure out is, now that I created these products, now I need to know how to market it efficiently and effectively, and believe like never before that it's done. You understand? And I just got to make sure I get in the right network. I got to make sure that I'm in the right group of people that have the money, not the excuses. Because a lot of you guys have excuses. That's why you don't have the money. And people who have the money, they don't have excuses. But let me find people who have the money that's ready to get the information that we have available to them to protect their assets, to teach them about taxes and all this stuff. And so that's the reason why I said, okay, now I just got to figure out how I need to do this thing. And guys, let me just tell you, it is so awesome, because when we came up with it, say another level.
Another level.
Say again.
Another level.
Another level. Now, when you would think that I'm crazy for believing for that, but then that's why it's so important. Guys, it is so important. If you don't hear this, man, it is so important that you get around the right people. If you can just rub elbows with a multi-millionaire, and if you don't physically know them, you can't physically touch them, you can't pick up the phone and call them. Guys, it's too many live broadcasts like this is going on. Right, Bruce?
Right.
It's too many, Grant Cardone, he has a show that he come on 5 times a week. You can get right here on YouTube, and you can watch the man, multi-millionaire, documented, not some made-up stuff, that still have it, that he is teaching you how to go out here and get it. Some of you guys, there's nothing wrong. Trust me when I say this. I love fashion. I love looking good, feeling good, smelling good. I love all that. But some of you guys were willing to pay $1,000 for a pair of shoes, but you're not willing to pay $1,000 to invest in this. See, that's when, to get that type of money, a paradigm shift must happen. It must happen. You got to think to yourself, I can no longer just trust my thinking along. I need to, as we talked about the Mastermind Alliance, I need to get with someone else who can help me in a peaceful manner, in a nurturing manner, to help me what? Grow. Remember, it must be peaceful and it must be nurturing. It's not a beast you need to run the hell away from. I'm just going to tell you the truth. So, when we said another level, right?
Right.
So I'm looking at this. We don't develop this. And then, hanging with Grant Cardone every day. I hang with him every day at different times of the day. I really do. I mean, when I physically, me and Bruce meet with him, because we will. When we go down there to his office, because we will in Florida. We coming for you, Grant. We're coming to look for you, right? And I saw this. Grant had a course that cost $25,000. I think he had another course that cost $50,000. He had a university. I think it cost over $100,000 to be with that over a year with all the courses that he was trained. I said, good night, man. There is levels to this thing. There's levels to it. So when I think about this, when we think about gamifying our life, and when I say gamify, what I want you to think about is that video. Maybe you in the Max Payne generation. I don't know. Maybe you in Snake. Maybe you're in that generation. Maybe you're in the new, what's the karate stuff the babies play right back? Is it Mortal? I don't know. But whatever game, Dragon Ball Z, or whatever generation you're in, think about that video games. There's levels. Level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4. When you think about your life, you should think about it like a video game. But remember, you only got one life now, so don't go out there and do something crazy, because you're not going to do. You're not coming back. Okay, so, what I'm talking about more so is I'm talking about thinking about taking it to from level 1, how can I go to level 2, how can I go from level 3, and then I got to draw this out. I heard Grant was talking to his daughter, and he said he taught his daughter, how to count from 0 to 10. He said 0 is a very powerful number. Would you agree? And I was saying to myself, I said, yeah, I would. But he said he taught his daughter to count. He said, if you can count from 0 to 10, you can gamify your life. You can 10x your life. And we learned this in school. Okay, so we see 0 through 10 right here, your number line. Remember that thing?
Yeah.
The number line that we had to draw in school. And he said you start off with 1. He said, but 10, he said 0 is a powerful number. He said you go to 10. And then he said you can add a 0 and become 100. He said you add another 0, it become 1,000. He said you add another 0, it become what? 10,000. He said you add another 0, it become 100,000. How about we add another 0? Right? Am I doing? Let me move that. Yeah.
Move a comma.
It become, is that correct? 1 mil?
Yeah, put the comma in between.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah, right there.
1, 2, 3. Yeah, there you go. Okay. So he said, would you agree that 0 is a powerful number, but it starts with 10. If I say 10 times 10, that's 100. Okay, if I say 100 times 10, that's 1,000. If I say 1,000 times 10, that's what? 10,000. If I say 10,000 times 10, that's 100,000. If I say 100,000 times 10, that's a mil. So he said, if you could count from 1 to 10, baby, you can make millions of dollars. You understand 0 is the most powerful number in the world. And when I thought about that, I said, wow, this man is absolutely, he's on point, I like his flamboyant personality. I like how he is. I like how he's free. He's bad. He's bold. He's bodacious. He's on fire. You don't have to like him, but you can make money with him. That's what I'm trying to say. But one of the things is that when I looked at this, I said they should have taught us this stuff in school, man. They should have taught us this. That instead of thinking about 10, after 10 come 11, think about 100. How can I take it to 10x that thing and take it to another level? Because that's the reason why so many people are broke today, because they keep thinking about a smaller level. Because I believe, and this is my personal belief, my opinion, I believe people look at that thing, Bruce, and they say that's a certain type of responsibility. You know it. You know there's a different responsibility from making 40,000 to making 100,000. Isn't that right or right? Yeah. So it's a different responsibility of making 100,000 to going to 250,000. It's a different responsibility from going to 250 to 500,000 to a mil. So what I think about is that when a person is where they are financially, it's because they stopped it themselves. They stopped looking at it. When you agree with that, they stopped it themselves. They're not looking at how can I take my income and add another 0 to it.
Right.
Because I said, I'd rather be around someone like Grant Cardone than to be around someone who's telling me to save your money for a rainy day. Save your money in case something. What kind of What kind of, if somebody tell you that, get the hell up out the seminar and ask for a refund. You know what I'm saying? Get up out of there. Tell them, no, man, no. We save to invest. That's what we do.
Something's going to happen anyway.
Yeah.
But what kind of money you want to have?
Oh, say it for, I want to have a indestructible amounts of money. Thank you, Grant. Indestructible amounts of money. That way I don't have to worry about it. I got enough money, baby. My money is going to outlive me. Outlive my grandchildren, my great-grands. Huh? That's the kind of mindset that you should have. Check to see anybody have any questions. So, when I heard that, I was like, wow, this man is on point here. This man is on point. And the thing that I had to do is I decided myself that I don't want to be around people that's going to stunt my growth. I don't want to be around people talking about lack. I don't want to be around people who are not visionaries. I don't want to be around people who, you know, say these crazy things like, I don't need all that. Nobody asked you. Nobody asked you about that. I was telling you know. So I don't get me to going on a tangent, because what I started doing was I started looking for people that align with the purpose that God put in my heart. I always knew I was going to be a multi-millionaire. I always knew that I was going to be able to impact the world. I always knew that God was going to bless me to do some powerful things. I always knew it. I didn't know how. And what I want to share with you, you know, wrapping this up because it's getting ready to come to a close in a minute. What I want to share with you guys is that it's very important. It's like what Mom used to say back in the day, birds of a feather flock together. Who are you flocking with? And when y'all get together, what are y'all talking about? You know, I am no longer interested in stupid conversations that lead what? Nowhere. I'm not interested in conversations that tear down. I'm interested in conversations that build up. I'm interested in conversations that are impactful. I'm interested in being around people that I can celebrate with and they can celebrate with me. I stay away from going in situations where I'm just tolerated or you're just with me because you get some kicks and giggles and maybe you like my personality, you want to laugh. I don't hang around those people. I don't need people to validate me anymore. I validate myself. With changing your mind, having a paradigm shift, one of the things that I always think about is be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. Renew your mind to believe that you deserve to 10x your income and gamify your life. You deserve everything that you want. Don't get into the spirit of, oh, I should be grateful and thankful for what I have. Yes, you should, but that doesn't mean that because you're grateful and thankful for what you have, now you should, pause and not want more. That's not for that. And anybody that tell you that, you need to run away from it. You don't need to be around people that are in a direct conflict with what it is that you believe and what it is that you're striving to bring about. And if you don't have a mentor that you're physically working with, it's okay. You will attract them by the thoughts in your mind, whether you come across this broadcast and you start tuning in and Facebook us or LinkedIn us, look for Jean Marlowe Davis. You look for us and you start taking on the trainings and things that we're offering. Maybe we're a mentor for you. Maybe that the gentleman that I talked about, Grant Cardone, is a mentor. Maybe Russell Brunson is a mentor. Maybe Lisa Nichols is a mentor. Maybe, you will find people that align with your divine assignment. But it must come from you understanding that you deserve wealth. You deserve to walk in total abundance. You deserve total prosperity. You deserve total happiness. And guys, I'm telling you, it starts with understanding. Let's create the goal. Okay? wrapping this up. Where are you? And I'm talking about this piece right here financially. Where are you financially? Okay? Where do you want to be? Financially, okay? What work I need to do to achieve said goal? And am I willing to do the work? These are the questions. And then you need to dream big, 10x it. Okay? So, what you need to do as we wrap up this portion and we wrap up this discussion, as we bring impact to a close, I want you to ask yourself on this 10x, where am I? Like I said, if I'm in the mall, where am I? Then I need to know where do I want to be, so I can get some form of direction. Then I need to know what kind of work I need to do. Now that you gave me the game plan, what kind of work do I need to achieve the said goal? And then am I willing to do the work? See, that's what you have to ask yourself. And most people, I want to let you know, they're not willing to do the work. That's all it is. When you become a millionaire, it's just not for you. You know, I love what Ayana Van Zandt said. What's in my cup is for me, and what flows over is for you. And if you're just staying in a low monthly income, or you just going for low goals, you're quite selfish, because all you're dealing with is your cup. You're not looking at having abundance to flow over to help other people. You know, $40,000 a year ain't gonna get it, 50 ain't gonna get it, 100 ain't gonna get it, 200 ain't gonna get it, 500, $1 million. You have millionaires that say $1 million is broke. You know, imagine what the billionaire thinks about millionaires. You know, so it's always another level, but it's not just for you. It's to be able to be impactful in other people's lives, because it's like connecting the dots. We are all connected if we understand. And if we come together, we can be powerful like an atomic bomb. But we got to come together with like-minded people. We got to create a positive mastermind alliance. We got to build each other up, not tear each other down or be threatened by someone's talents, their skills and abilities, and the power that this person have embraced with. Now, guys, listen. Yesterday, we talked about defining your purpose, 9 steps to getting unstuck. We talked about daring to dream with Mr. Vincent Lee. Then we came back and talked about driving your passions. And then we gave you a little bit about taxes. Me being an XRS auditor, I laid it down about the tax advantages of owning a business. Then we talked about thoughts or things, you become what you think about. Today we open up with Dare to Dream, Part 2, with Mr. Vincent Lee. And then we got into the power to create wealth, tapping into the source, the God mind. Then Bruce and I came up and we gave you the Mastermind Alliance, and what is a Mastermind Alliance and how to build strong relationships. And then we talked about mind, body, and soul, keys to physical healing. And I just finished talking about the financial thermostat, how to 10x your income and gamify your life. And guys, let me just tell you, it has been a complete blessing to serve you this weekend. Those who were here, those who, are watching live on the various channels. This is something brand new that me and Bruce got into, but we're going to go with it. We're going to do what God has called us to do. And I am just so very grateful and humbled to be here this weekend. I pray that you received the message that you needed, not what your neighbor needed, but what you needed. I pray if you purchase this broadcast and you have access to it, that you go back and watch it. Especially when you're finding difficulty in a certain area, go back and play it back like an encyclopedia, that you go back and you research it and see what we said about that. It was so much information given these last 2 days that I'm telling you, you can really impact your life to walk in your divine purpose, to drive your passions, to release your power so you can have endless possibilities. You know, some of our speakers already left, but what I want to do is I want to bring up someone that I just love very much, and you saw him just a minute. I need you to come up, honey. I just want to end this broadcast, you know, with just having this man, and he's going to put on the board, he's going to leave it on the, as a matter of fact, I'm going to erase it, and after I edify him, he's going to put some information on the board, and he's going to leave it up there for a few minutes for those who, you know, want to write down the information. Some people want to know how they can, you know, get this broadcast, have it, and own it in their digital library. Some people want to know about the Wealth Creator Program. Some people want to know how they can contact us. He's going to put all that on the board and leave it up there for a few minutes. Oh, wow. That is awesome. There it is. This man, are they paying you right? Wow, he put that up there. So the Wealth Creator Program, video.tiffiswealthcreators.com. That is so awesome. As a matter of fact, babe, can you switch? Because they can't see it. You just got it on the board. I see it on the board. I don't see. Okay, there it goes. There it goes. Oh, wow. Okay, there it goes. And hopefully they can see that.
Yeah, should switch to the...
It's probably a delay. But I just want to say, honey... Okay. It's okay. They don't have to see me. That's good. I just want to say I really, really appreciate you. You're awesome. I thank God for you, and I thank God for this journey with you and everything that you do. Being said, if you could just switch it one more time to me and then go back to that as we wrap up. Guys, you know, we're going to come back to that slide in just a second, but I'm so very grateful, so very thankful, and just excited about where we're going with Tiffis Wealth Creators, with Impact, with Wealthy Women Enterprises, with all the things that God has blessed us with. I'm so very grateful that we can impact your life and that you gave us a little bit of you by tuning in, by being here. We appreciate you all. And I'm just so very grateful. I don't want to take any more of your time, but I just want you to remember today. I want you to remember Sunday, June the 24th, 2018, that Gene Davis said that you can have, you can be, you can do anything as long as you believe in yourself. Stop playing small, okay? And go for the big. 10x, gamify your life, and you can have anything that you want. We're ready for you to walk into your divine purpose, and we want to be here for you. So if you have any goals, any dreams, you have any tax problems that you don't know what to do, you're looking for a home-based business, you don't know where to go, you was lied to, but you want to be around somebody who can coach and mentor you and give you the information that you need, listen, we're here for you. Bruce is going to put the information back on the board. Hopefully we can get that to come back up. How you can contact us. My direct number is 678, I just say it, 678-457-9493. Again, 678-457-9493. That is the company number. You can contact us. Monday through Friday. Give us a call 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. We do take appointments only, guys. And I'm telling you right now, we look forward to helping you. Whatever your dream is, whatever your goal is, whatever you're believing for, guys, you can have it. The home-based business is really, guys, an inner circle and a mastermind coaching program that's going to allow you to access trainings 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on a slew of topics. Of course, it's going to be taxes, finance, wealth creation, debt eradication, branding, building, investing. So much information, guys. And then on top of it, you can absolutely earn income as well. That's what's so powerful about this. This is a true learn and earn program. And then, of course, if you need consultation, you need a coach, you're in trouble with the IRS, what better way to contact an ex-IRS auditor who can help you and prepare you to make sure that you're not worrying about being audited, worrying about, oh my God, how am I going to pay this huge tax debt? I don't know what to do. Then give us a call, 678-457-9493. Again, 678-457-9493. Guys, listen, I don't want to take up any more of your time. It has been a plum-pleasing pleasure, right? I don't know how Les Brown normally said, but it's been a total blessing to be here for you guys. Get ready for Impact 2018. It's coming up in August live. We're going to let you know where we're going to be. We are going on the road. And so we're so excited about that, guys. Listen, whoever invite you, however you came about this, look, thank that person, thank them, and go back and watch this over and over again. If you'd like a copy of this broadcast, just inbox us and we'll get a copy to you for a nominal fee. With that being said, I am Jean Davis. I am your wealth creator. May God bless and keep you. And remember, you can have, you can be, you can do anything as long as you impact 2018, June 23rd and 24th. Guys, purpose, passion, power, and possibilities. I look forward to seeing you at the next conference. God bless you, and thank you for watching.